So in this video, I am going to tell you the 7 biggest mistakes students make while taking their education loan. So what happens is students end up predicting the number of years they require to finish the loan on the lower side. What if there is a recession when you graduate and it takes you more than 1 year to get a job? What if you lose your job? What if your salary is not as high as you expected? Taking these kind of loans like a personal loan or loan against property or loan against FD or gold loan, students do this because such loans are easily available. These are processed at a faster pace because bank and the bank staff has commercial targets on these loans. You will be confused and shocked when you will look at your loan account statement. So this is the biggest and the most common mistake I have seen students making and later suffering through this. So please avoid it. Hello all, this is Damini, co-founder of VMix Scholars, and I welcome you to the 35th episode of our web series LoanFlix Season 2. Students make a lot of mistakes when they are taking their education loan, which is mostly the first loan of their life. And these mistakes can cost them lakhs of rupees in the monetary loss or the loss of their dream to study abroad. And I have seen so many students suffering through these that the first thought was, why don't we compile all of these into one video and make students aware of it? So in this video, I am going to tell you the 7 biggest mistakes students make while taking their education loan. So let's start this video, but before that, let me tell you, for those who are new to my channel, LoanFlix is a web series which covers each and every detail of an abroad education loan. Right from the process, eligibility to sanction, disbursement, everything. And LoanFlix is an initiative of VMix Scholars. VMix Scholars is an organization which is funded and supported by the Ministry of IT, Government of India, and its sole purpose is to help students like you with the entire education loan process. And let me make it very clear, all the services of VMix Scholars are completely free of cost. So let's start the video. Coming to the first one, choosing the shorter repayment tenure. So when you're filling in the loan application form, there is a question asking in how many years would you actually repay the loan. So students at this phase of their life, when they're actually making the application for university or education loan, they are very optimistic about their job, about the salary they'll be getting after finishing their abroad studies. So that's why what happens is students end up predicting the number of years they require to finish the loan on the lower side. So for example, any student who is going to the US would assume that 5 to 6 years is actually enough to complete or to repay a 45 to 50 lakhs of loan. Technically speaking, yes, it is correct. 5 to 6 years is actually enough. But what I'm advising here is that you should also take some buffer for some unforeseen incidents. For example, what if there is a recession when you graduate and it takes you more than 1 year to get a job? What if you lose your job? What if your salary is not as high as you expected beforehand? So what I'm saying is you should not neglect these things. I'm not telling you to be pessimistic or negative of things even before you're starting your journey, but I'm just telling you to be realistic. So what you should ideally do is you should opt for a minimum loan tenure of 8 to 10 years. And please note that you can repay your loan as early as you want. There are no foreclosure charges in an education loan, unlike other loans, because foreclosure charges are there in other loans. Yeah. But if you take loan tenure as 5 years and later you want to increase it, then there will be a penalty. So this is the biggest and the most common mistake I have seen students making and later suffering through this. So please avoid it. Taking a personal loan, mortgage loan or FD loan for the purpose of your higher education is again the most silliest mistake students make when they are trying to fund their higher education. See, taking these kind of loans like a personal loan or loan against property or loan against FD or gold loan, students do this because such loans are easily available. These are processed at a faster pace because bank and the bank staff has commercial targets on these loans. Whereas on the other side, education loan has no targets for the bank staff. That's why the bank staff is never going to push you for these kind of loans. But guys, you as a customer, you need to understand that the education loan comes with a lot of benefits. For example, education loan has a moratorium period which allows you to pay after your course is over, unlike any other loan. And education loan has a lot of government subsidies wherein your moratorium period interest is waived off. Plus, there are some tax exemptions under Section 80E, which is again not available for any other kind of loans, right? In addition to that, there is this new foreign or remittance tax, which is called as TCS, which is charged at the rate of 0.5% if it is an education loan, but 5% if it is any other kind of loan or your personal funds. So these are all the reasons why you shouldn't take any other kind of loan, and you must take an education loan only. Guys, at the same time, I understand that bank staff puts it as the last thing, and that might bother you because the process will be delayed, but I don't think that is something you should be worried about, because at VMake Scholars we only do education loans, and that's the first and prior thing for us, right? So we will make sure that your education loan happens in a much smoother and faster way, so that you can fund your higher education through an education loan. So to get in touch with our team, you can request a call back using the link given in the video description and the link given above. And there is a detailed video on our YouTube channel which compares education loan with other kinds of loans. You should watch that video as well. The link is in the description. Mistake number 3, not asking the upfront cost. Now, none of us watching this video today are millionaires. We are students who are aspiring for a brighter future with an education loan funding us. Which means if someone suddenly tells you, hey, your education loan is sanctioned, but you need to pay 1 lakh rupees as processing charges and another 50,000 rupees as blah blah charges, you are going to be in a mess, because this will come as a shock to you because you never prepared yourself for this cost. So this is the third biggest mistake students make by not asking the upfront cost. So it is very important for you to analyze all the costs involved in an education loan at the time of application itself. So do ask the bank guy or your VMake Scholars financial officer what are the approximate costs which you might have to pay when your education loan is sanctioned and once you have to avail it, right? Now, Indian banks and NBFCs have certain costs as upfront cost, and there are certain costs which are added to your loan amount. But at the same time, foreign lenders add your processing fee and the other origination costs and everything into your loan amount itself. So now this brings us to our next biggest mistake, which is not analyzing the costs which are added to your loan amount. So when you're repaying the loan and checking your loan account statement for the outstanding amount, you are expecting to see the principal amount which you have taken as a disbursement plus some interest on it, right? But you will be confused and shocked when you will look at your loan account statement, because every lender, be it a public bank or a private bank or an NBFC, will add costs like loan insurance to your principal amount itself. So for example, if you're taking a 40 lakhs loan and the insurance cost on that loan insurance is generally about 25,000 to 1 lakh rupees, they will sanction you extra amount. For example, for 40 lakhs, they will sanction you 40 lakh 25,000 or 41 lakh, but they will recover this amount right from your loan account and they will consider it as a disbursement. At the same time, foreign banks add about 4% of your loan amount, which is the processing fee for them. So on a 40 lakh loan, it is about 1,60,000. They add this amount to your principal amount of the loan and they will start charging you interest on that amount also. So please ask for the upfront cost which you will be incurring when you are availing the loan. The fifth biggest mistake is starting your loan process at the last minute. Guys, please understand the whole timeline right from your university applications till you reach the university has to be very carefully planned and followed. Delay in any step could lead to you having to postpone your entire plan to the next intake. So like you are advised that write your test early so that you have buffer time to write the test again in case your test score is lesser. Like you are advised that apply for your visa early so that you have enough time to reapply for the visa in case your visa gets rejected. Similar to both these scenarios, you are advised to apply for your loan as early as possible, because only then you are going to have time to shop around, compare options, and even if it means that the cheapest option is a public bank which is going to take longer time ranging from multiple weeks to months to process your loan, you should have time for it. And you can do all this comparison and shopping around only if you have time, and even if your loan gets rejected, you should have time to reapply to another lender. If you start your loan process 10 days before your deadline, you can get a loan. You will be given the fastest option, which most probably will not be the cheapest option. The best time to start your loan process is when you have applied to universities and you're waiting for your admission letter to come. So even though your admission letter is not ready, you can still start collecting the loan documents at this stage. The sixth biggest mistake students are making with their education loan or loans in general is spoiling their credit score by not paying EMIs on time. So why I have included this point in this video is because on a daily basis we are getting at least 2 or 3 applications wherein the student has taken a consumer durable loan for their laptop or phone and they have not paid EMI on time. So because of this 50,000-60,000 loan and not paying EMIs on time, their CIBIL has fallen down, because of which their education loans are getting rejected. So I will advise you, please do not take such loans, and even if you have to take such a loan, please ensure to pay EMIs on time. The biggest mistake of all is this one: applying for your education loan on your own. Guys, you are taking this as the first loan of your life. You're never going to be familiar with the loan jargons or terminologies, doesn't matter how smart you are. Your parents will be taking this as the first education loan. Even if they would have availed home loan or car loan or personal loan, this loan is very different from that. And unless you have a sibling who has availed an education loan in the last 2 years, you are going to have no clue about the nitty-gritties of the entire process. And even if your sibling or cousin has availed a loan in the last 2 years, we never know if they actually compared options before that. So you can't go by their choice. And even if they actually did compare, the education loan market is changing month on month. So your options are going to change. So in June 2022, RBI has increased repo rate 2 times, because of which the rate of interest of all public banks, private banks have gone up. But at the same time, NBFCs have decided to not increase the repo rate, and some of them are even not planning to do it in the near future. How would you know that as a student on the other side or as a layman? That's why it is always advised to apply for your education loan with an expert. VMake Scholars is funded by the Ministry of IT, Government of India, and we had been doing this for 5.5 years now. And every year, 12,000 to 15,000 students avail their education loan through VMake Scholars, which makes it 1 in every 5 students is taking their loan through VMake Scholars for their abroad studies. So with such a large scale, we have built that expertise which is going to help you. And you will never be able to have that leverage of comparing options and choosing the best if you're applying for the loan on your own or through your admission consultancy. And no one is ever going to explain you that loan jargon, which VMake Scholars Financial Officer will handhold you with. So to get in touch with us, you can request a call back using the link which is given in the video description or the link which is given above. That's it for this video, and I hope it was useful and you could learn a lot from the mistakes which other people make. You must avoid these mistakes when you are taking an education loan. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments below and I'll definitely get back to each one of you. We are putting in a lot of effort to compile this information and bring it out to you. So if you appreciate our effort, then please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Do share it with your friends and colleagues who might be looking out for this information. Stay tuned for my next video.
Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to never miss any updates from us.